course participants of Intensive Legal Research Workshop, we commence our academic evening, and I just had told you that we have orientation to English and mechanics of English, and we have a very eminent resource person who we try to bring in as much as we can from his very busy schedule that he has from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, from his university where he is. It's IMS में पढ़ाते हैं, ये वहाँ पे होते हैं, और सिर्फ IMS में नहीं बल्कि इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट साइंसेज जिसको कहते हैं, बल्कि और भी बहुत सारी चीज़ों में वहाँ पे ये इन्वॉल्व रहते हैं, और हम इनके बहुत मशकूर हैं कि ही टेक्स आउट टाइम और ये यहाँ तशरीफ़ फरमा होते हैं. दिस इज़ डॉक्टर मोहम्मद इस्माइल वली. बहुत बड़ा नाम है, कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स स्पेशलिस्ट हैं. ही इज़ अ कोऑर्डिनेटर MPhil in English and Communication Program, Institute of Management Sciences in Peshawar. Before I invite him, I would like to give an overview of his very lengthy profile that he has. He joined Education Department of NWFP as a lecturer in English in March of 1986 on ad hoc basis, and he worked in that capacity till regularization through NWFP Public Service Commission in 1987. He has taught English at FA and BA levels till his deputation to the Institute of Management Sciences, Peshawar, in November 2009. He has been involved in teaching vocabulary building, word formation and sentence structuring, polysemy, connotation, dentative and connotative. My apologies, sir, if I'm not pronouncing anything properly, meanings, idiomatic translation, speaking and writing skills, meaningful transitions, composition, paraphrasing, and comprehensive skills. Dr. Muhammad Ismail Wali was awarded MPhil for research on Matthew Arnold's poetry, A Journey Through Night, an interpretive study. The study focused on the symbolic aspects of image of night in Arnold's poetry. He was awarded PhD in English for research on Shakespeare's comedy from Jungian perspective, A Midsummer's Night Dream, Shakespeare's CSG of meaning, and it was very well taken by the chair, Department of English and Applied Language, University of Peshawar. This was the first foreign evaluated degree awarded to a scholar of the above department. Dr. Muhammad Ismail Wali is member of National Curriculum Review Committee, and he has participated in umpty number of meetings with HEC Lahore, and he has revised and updated BS MS English program in Pakistan. He has designed and delivered modules on effective communication skills to public prosecutors at the Judicial Academy of KP. He has worked as consultant for the Judicial Academy of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa on project of review and upgradation of the existing training manuals for judges and court staff as partnership venture between UNDP, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Judicial Academy, and the Institute of Management Sciences. He has designed, developed, and delivered contents on judgment writing at the Judicial Academy in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. He has designed, developed, and delivered contents on official correspondence at the Judicial Academy of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. I mean, there's a whole list of things, but I'm just picking up a few. He has designed and developed and delivered contents on plain legal English at the Judicial Academy of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. He has collaborated in designing courses for LLM at the Judicial Academy of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. He has delivered workshops on research skills at Kohat University of Engineering and Technology sponsored by HEC. He has he has designed, developed, and delivered tailored contents on business communication for MBA students at IMSciences, for business English for IMSciences, for proficiency in English and applied communication for PMS officers at IMSciences, and he has also monitored IELTS, as most of you might be knowing about the British Council program at IMSciences under the Australian aid at IMSciences. And he has also set papers for MA English at the University of Peshawar. So I'm taking a lot of time because there's much more to say, but I would not want to stand more between you and him. I would like to request worthy Dr. Muhammad Ismail Wali to kindly come and take over the class and commence the program, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما رب زدني علما رب زدني علما. Worthy judges, first of all, let me my soulful gratitude to the management of your academy, especially the DG Saab, for trusting me, because I'm the way Madam talked about me earlier, I have not that caliber, no. I'm a humble person, and I'm here to share my experience and the little knowledge, and little knowledge is always a dangerous thing, so I will share my little knowledge with you. Having said that, my strategy is I divide learning into three dimensions. Learning, de-learning, relearning, three. Because adult learning and adult teaching, this is a very difficult task. Therefore, learning, and I define learning, is a positive and productive change in, for example, A, we call it A. So how A is produced? Focus on it. It is A. Now while saying the breath goes out without any obstruction. The sound goes out without any obstruction. But when we say B, there is obstruction. B. Our lips come together. B. So there is an obstruction. So the main difference between a vowel sound and a consonant sound is there is no obstruction while saying vowels, and there is obstruction, some kind of obstruction, while saying consonants. This is the main difference. Now read them again. Which sound is said without obstruction, and which sound is said with obstruction? Say it and then tick it on your own, without bothering about A, I, O, U. No. Then which letters do you think are said without obstruction? G. C. G. H has two sounds.
Q.
G. Again, here what I am going to stress is when you say A, E, O, E, these are very simple. A, E, U. These are very simple. So if you don't know the technical definition, so focus on A, E, U. A, E, U. These are vowels. A, E, U. These may be long, these may be short. A, E, U. These are long. A, E, U. These are short. So these vowels are sounds. Now when you say S, say S, how it is pronounced? S. In the beginning there is A sound. S. S. Say it. S. Now write it in Urdu script. How you write it? And it begins with alif sound. Then alif is a vowel sound. So S is pronounced, and while pronouncing it as an individual sound, it gives us vowel sound. अब कुछ समझ में आ रही है? Similarly, when you say M, so it also begins with a sound. N, it also begins with an a sound. Similarly, read other words, other letters, please. X, yes. S. G, R, yes. G. So when you say, for example, there is an R, though R is a consonant, but here it gives a vowel sound. So you should say there is an R in this word. We are not supposed to say AR, no, because it gives us a vowel sound. So here you should know the main difference between a vowel sound and a consonant sound. Vowels are pronounced without any obstruction in the air passage, and consonant sounds are pronounced with obstructions, and their combinations then make us words. So here de-learn the A-I-O-U thing, and you have to focus on the sound it makes. Now these sounds are called phonemes. These sounds are called phonemes, from phone, P-H-O-N-E-M-E-S, phonemes. Now A is a phoneme, B is another, C is another phoneme. These are phonemes, mental representations of sounds. When you write it, the symbol you use, that is grapheme. Now this A is grapheme. The mental representation A, when we say it, that is more phoneme. समझ गए कि नहीं? नहीं समझे? जो आप लिख रहे हैं A, B, C, D, alif, ba, ta, sa, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you write it, these are graphemes. Graph means writing. So G, that is grapheme, G-R-A-P-H-E-M-E. Grapheme. One is phoneme, the other is grapheme. So there are, now why our language languages different from one another? Because of this sound system. Because of this sound system, because this sound system varies from language to language. Now here with us the problem is we are not taught 45 speech sounds, we are taught just 26 sounds. So here, therefore this is called a bound morpheme. So here, first phonemes, then morphemes, and then graphemes, the written version. After that we have, when we put together morphemes, then we get phrases, clauses, and sentences, and then discourse. Morpheme. Grapheme is the written representation of speech sounds. These are all graphemes, what you are writing. These are graphemes. Alif, ba, ta, sa, jim. These are graphemes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are graphemes. One, when we say two, that is the sound. When we write it TWO, two, that is a grapheme. So words. So words are meaningful units of sounds are their written versions. Words are meaningful units of sounds are their written versions. Both. And words can be spoken, words can be written. And then afterwards come phrases. Phrase means a group of words. Phrase is usually more than one word. So a group of words with a grammatical function is called phrase. And it is a grammatical function. And then phrases, after phrases we have clauses. It is not the clause that you use in your legal documents. Here clause means a group of words with a subject and a predicate. With a subject and a predicate. Yani a sentence is divided into two major parts, the subject part and the predicate part. Subject means fa'il, that we call in Urdu, Arabic, Persian fa'il, doer of an action. A doer of an action is called subject. And predicate that tells us about the subject. For example, when you say the judge is writing, so the judge is writing, the judge is a subject, is writing predicate. So if a sentence is a predicate and a subject, that is called clause. And there may be different clauses in one sentence. These clauses may be dependent clauses, may be independent clauses. Especially in legal writing, you people use so many clauses that it confuses your reader. So that we will take up later. ठीक है, किसी आपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को तो पढ़ा है, किसी भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को, मैं किसी का हवाला नहीं दे रहा हूं, तो उसमें कितने क्लासेस हैं? Clause after clause, there is no end to it. So later we will take it for further discussion. So this is clause. Clause means part of a sentence with its own subject and predicate. That is called clause. And then sentence. Sentence means a group of words, a string of words with a complete meaning. Complete again is a subject and a predicate. That is complete. If there is no subject, that is not complete. If there is no predicate, that is not complete. So please make some sentences to learn what a subject is and what a predicate is. Then show it to me, please. G. Write sentences.
I am doing word I is subject and doing
G. चलो मैं अभी इसके ग्रामर पे नहीं जाता हूँ, ठीक है. चलो जी, ठीक. देखें ये this is subject, this is predicate. And full stop. If you don't put full stop, then it confuses your reader.
सब्जेक्ट के अलावा बाकी सारा प्रेडिकेट एक सेंटेंस में.
नहीं. A subject may be, this is a good question, a subject may be one word or tens of words. It is not necessary it may be one. No. For example, the person in black is our judge. Write a sentence. The person in black, yani wearing black suit, in black. Black is short. So the person in black is our judge. So now the person in black is the subject. So it may be one word, it may be more than one word. Similarly, predicate may be one word or predicate may be more than one word. And here again another thing to remember is especially in imperative sentences. Imperative sentences means where we give orders, express wishes or desires. Here usually the subject part is omitted. For example, when we say get out, right, it means you get out. So this you is skipped. It does not mean it has no subject. The subject is there. But we don't say it. We say get out. So it means you get out. So here it is there. And there is no sentence without a subject or without a predicate. For being complete, it should contain two parts, the subject part, the predicate part. No, these are the standard terms I am using. जी, जिस तरह अरबी में वो कहते हैं ना फाइल मफूल, ठीक है, तो यही उसी तरह की चीज़ें. ये अंग्रेजी नहवा है, अंग्रेजी सर्फ है, सॉरी, etymology is sarf, syntax is nahwa. So we are doing nahwa means order of words in a sentence. Now here I stop to give you an overview of English. English is, now you have some idea of what a language is. Now when we come to English, English is an Indo-European language. English is an Indo-European language. G. English is an Indo-European language. So there are many branches, many major branches of languages. So one of the major branch is Indo-European. So under Indo-European we have all these languages. We have even Urdu, Punjabi, Hindko, Sindhi. These are also Indo-European. Similarly, Greek, Latin, French, Spanish, these are also Indo-European. And they say, the theory says, all these languages spoken here, they have descended from a root language that they call Proto-Indo-European. Proto-Indo-European. So all these languages, the theorists claim, have descended from Proto-Indo-European languages. That was one language spoken by that people, जिसको हम यहाँ उमूमन आर्या के नाम से जानते हैं. तो आर्या, then Sanskrit. So they think Sanskrit is the mother of all languages, especially these languages. I'm not talking about other branch. The other branch is, for example, Altaic languages, and under Altaic languages we have Chinese, Japanese, Turkish, and so many other languages. And then here again there is another branch that is called Dravidian languages. 52 languages of this major branch are spoken in India, and only one, that is Barohi. कोई बरोही वाला है इधर? जी, so Barohi is a Dravidian language, not Indo-European language. जी, it is a Dravidian language, जिसको हम कोल दरावड़ कहते हैं उर्दू में. दरावड़ी, कोल दरावड़. तो सिर्फ एक जबान बोली जाती है पाकिस्तान में, वो बरोही है. बाकी ये सारी जबानें इंडिया के साउथ में हैं. तो ये ड्रेविडियन लैंग्वेजेस हैं. बाकी जितनी लैंग्वेजेस हैं ये हैं इंडो यूरोपियन. सो इंग्लिश इज आल्सो एन इंडो यूरोपियन लैंग्वेज. And then under this we have Indo-Iranian language. Indo-Iranian we have Pashto, Persian, and Kurdish. So that is Indo-Iranian. Now, those who have read European history, I hope they know, originally English is a Germanic language. And the people who attacked England in 450, after the fall of Roman Empire, they started attacking England from the north. So these were three Germanic tribes: Angles, Saxon, and Jutes. They attacked, invaded England and conquered it in 450. 450 ईस्वी में जब रोमन एम्पायर कमजोर, सल्तनत कमजोर हो गई, तो वहां से लोग आ गए और आके इंग्लैंड पे कब्जा किया. अब इंग्लैंड का माना क्या है? लैंड ऑफ एंगल्स. England means land of angles. English means language of angles. So Angles were the most powerful tribe. Therefore, the name refers to them. England, there was no England before them. It was called Britain, not England. So when they attacked and conquered it, then called it England, land of angles, like Afghanistan, land of Afghans. So land of angles, English means language of angles. So we are using language of angles. Now the history is divided into three parts: Old English, Middle English, Modern English. Old English, that is also called Anglo-Saxon English, and then Medieval English, and then Modern English. Three major periods in the history. So the language spoken in England from 450 to 1066, 450 to 1066,
Sir.
that is called Old English.
Sir, then what is the difference between classical and neoclassical? Because classical, that belongs to old history, and neoclassical, that was the age in 18th century.
नहीं. We are not talking about classicism, we are talking about languages, okay?
To the
No. Classical means Greek. Greek and Latin, okay? I will come to it later. First, let me explain what I am going to say.
सर
जी
सर जैसे रेनेसांस के बाद ये शेक्सपियरन लैंग्वेज
जी जी
वो सर मॉडर्न में आती है या
मैंने आपको कहा, अभी अब बता रहा हूँ ना, 450 से लेके 1066 तक जो जबान बोली जाती थी उसको ओल्ड इंग्लिश और एंग्लो सैक्सन इंग्लिश बोलते हैं। 1066 से लेके 1450 तक जो है ये मिडिल इंग्लिश है। 1450 के बाद मॉडर्न इंग्लिश।
तो सर मॉडर्न लैंग्वेज में
जी 1450 के बाद रेनेसां के बाद जो अंग्रेजी आती है वो मैं लीगल इंग्लिश में फिर आपको बताऊं।
तो सर वो हमें समझ में क्यों नहीं आ रही? जैसे शेक्सपियर की है, इट इज नाउ वेरी विचिंग टाइम ऑफ नाइट व्हेन चर्च यार्ड यार्न एट। अब इनमें से कोई भी मॉडर्न लैंग्वेज का एक लफ्ज नहीं बता सकेगा।
अच्छा देखें, मैंने आपको ये बताया मॉडर्न का मतलब ये नहीं है कि द एज वी आर लिविंग इन। मॉडर्न मीन्स व्हेन the first period was from 450 to 1066. Now what happened in 1066? What happened? England was attacked and conquered by Normans and they spoke French. Now English was influenced by French because England was conquered by a French speaking tribe called Norsemen from Normandy, from France. So then English underwent major shifts because they spoke French. Now here, for example, we call Chief Justice, write it, Chief Justice. Here the adjective occurs before the word, Chief Justice. But against this we say Advocate General, write it. Here adjective occurs after it. Do you understand the difference? G, one is Chief Justice. Here यानी जिस तरह उर्दू में एडजेक्टिव पहले आते हैं, अच्छी किताब, अच्छा कलम। किताब अच्छी नहीं होता है, ऑर्डर नहीं बनेगा, अच्छी किताब। तो अब अंग्रेजी में भी जो ऑर्डर है इंग्लिश में वो एडजेक्टिव पहले आना चाहिए। जिस तरह चीफ जस्टिस, चीफ में एडजेक्टिव पहले है, जस्टिस बाद में है। लेकिन एडवोकेट जनरल, ठीक है, इसमें उल्टा है। ये उल्टा क्यों है? बिकॉज ऑफ दैट, because it is French order. It is because of that French influence. We still have that word.
को भी तो 3 हिस्सों में बांटा जाता है ना सर?
नहीं, वो मैं नहीं जाता ना। मैं उस डिटेल में जाऊंगा तो ये पूरा हफ्ता उसमें लगेगा। मैं आपने शुरू में कहा the first sentence was I am going to give you an overview. So in an overview means 3 major periods. So from
modern वाले real ages
नहीं, modern means from 1450 to modern age. नहीं, dark age तो वो उनको कहते थे ना, वो तो 17 से medieval 14 तक वही है, वो उसकी वजह से
before Renaissance.
Before the Renaissance. Why? Because it was governed by the church. Therefore the historians call it dark age. That is it. G. Dark means they said it was governed by the church, not by rationality. Philosophers का दावा ये है कि dark age क्यों कहते हैं काला दौर? वो उनके लिए काला दौर है, हमारे लिए नहीं है. There was the dark age for them, not for us. And Muslims were very enlightened in that age. आप मुसलमानों के जो philosophical development हुई उसी एज में हुई, और अंग्रेजों ने जो कुछ सीखा वो स्पेन में जो मुसलमान थे उनसे सीखा है। वो फिर चलो अलग कहानी है। Anyhow, so during this period, what we call medieval English, during this period English was influenced by French. That is it. Note it. Because English was not the language of court, remember. It was a vernacular language. It was not an academic language like French and Latin. Why do you call Roman law? You don't say English law, Roman law, because Latin was academic language. Books were written in Latin. Even today, legal language is full of Latin phrases, full of. Why? Because of this influence, this French influence. And French was the language of law, administration, management, and academia. English was not the language. English was the language of common people. And even Magna Carta was written in Latin, not in English. So English was not an academic language in that period. It was Latin, it was French. It was, therefore, because the kings spoke French, their official language was French. Therefore, English was highly influenced by French during this period. So this is called medieval English, that is it. And then, during this period, two great writers were born, poets, Chaucer and Langland and two others, who for the first time used English for poetry, for the first time. Because usually they used Latin for writing. But Chaucer and Langland, they used English.
Canterbury Tales, sir.
Canterbury Tales. He wrote Canterbury Tales in English for the first time. Langland, Langland. And then slowly and gradually, English entered the academia. Medieval can be stretched from the 7th century to the 15th century. 1076, that is medieval English. From 1066 to 1450, that is medieval English. And then slowly and gradually they started using English for higher purposes. As slowly and gradually we are using Urdu. First there was no Urdu. So slowly and gradually the Muslims owned it, and then we are using it. Similarly, English was not an academic language. English was not the legal language. French was the legal language. Latin was the legal language. So slowly and gradually changes occur. And then constitutions were written in English. Judgments, they started writing judgments in English. Okay. So that is an overview of what we call English today. Today there are so many varieties of English. For example, British English, American English, Australian English, Canadian English, and even in England there are 50 or 60 varieties of English. And in some varieties, for example, they pronounce bus is bus, not bus. वो बस को बुस कहते हैं. तो फिर हमारे लिए तो वो गलत है, क्योंकि we have to follow the standard pronunciation. So there are so many varieties. Now, for example, the English spoken in China is called Chinglish. So there are so many Englishes today. So that is one aspect of studying English. That is, from the historical perspective, how it developed and passed through different stages of development. Then here our problem, you know, we have been under the British for about 200 years. And therefore, no doubt they gave us some good things as well. This judicial system is theirs, okay? This educational system is theirs. So, and then, because we don't know the logic of English, for that we have to work hard. We have to bleed. Then we learn something. Or, to give you another example, I am thankful to you. Write it. I am thankful to you. And I am grateful to you. Do you think there is some difference or not? So do you think there is some difference or no difference at all between the two? Not meaning, but do you think there is difference or no difference? Or one is wrong, the other is correct? Ji. देखिए, here the English logic says thankful follows date structure. Thankful follows date structure, not to structure. When you say I am thankful to you, it is wrong. When you say I am thankful that you did this, then it is correct. But I am grateful to you for doing this, that is correct. Lekin here we follow our logic, the problem is that. जी मतलब ये है ना, मैं आपको ये बता रहा हूँ, ये मिसालें दे के कि what we are, what the judge is saying we are playing Shakespeare played. So it was Shakespeare's language. What the way we are playing with it, that is very different. क्योंकि हमें पता ही नहीं है कि हम लोगों को परेशान बना रहे हैं. सिर्फ आपको मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ, ये सारा ऑफिशियल कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंस इससे बड़े पड़े. क्या नहीं, we do not bother to search for the correct version.
ये तो कसूर उनका है ना, जिन्होंने हमें प्लंडर किया बार बार. वो आए, फ्रेंच आए, यूके ने आए, हम कहाँ जाए?
So we should use Urdu. But Urdu is more technical.
No, Urdu is also mixture.
जी, नहीं. अच्छा, okay. Now, when we say writing, what is writing? बात उधर से निकली है, वो कह रहे हैं कि जी ये बात ठीक पहुंच रही है. So what is writing? Any writing is a reflection of our personality. It reflects our whole personality, who we are. So if you say something wrong as a judge, as a lawyer, as a highly educated person, then it makes a very bad impression on people. ऐसा नहीं है. यानी आप एक बड़े पोस्ट पे हैं, आप उर्दू का लिख रहे हैं, उर्दू कौमी ज़बान है हमारी, तो फिर आप कहेंगे जी ये तो मतलब पहुंच रहा है, तो फिर ये इम्तिहानात, कंपटीशन, ये किस लिए? तो ये, this is the problem, these are the problems. Now we come, keeping in view these examples, we come to the next topic, that is mechanics of English, because every language has its own mechanics. And we begin with nouns. Nouns. Nouns and their usage. In English, G, mechanics. In English, nouns. Some nouns are always used as singular. Write it. They have no plural forms. This is its technicality. Some nouns are always used as singular. They have no plural forms. They have no plural forms. Some nouns are used as singular, always singular. They don't have plural forms. Now, when we use them as plural, it means we are making a mistake. So here we have to follow the logic of the English language, and we have to search for it in a good, authentic source, whether it has a plural form or not. Now, let me give some examples. Information. Now, information has no plural, but in Urdu it is a plural, itla'at. But English it has no plural. Information. Okay? Luggage. Luggage has no plural. Baggage. Baggage has no plural. Okay? Furniture. Furniture has no plural. If you say furnitures, you make a mistake, no doubt. You give the meaning, you get across the message. But people know you are making a mistake. There is no plural of machinery. Machinery has no plural. So you have to know, to understand whether this word is used as singular or it is also used as plural in English. You have to work on it before using it. So this is one. Two, some words are always used as plural. They have no singular forms. Another technicality. No, news not. देखें scissors. हम कहेंगे कैंची लाओ एक. हम ये नहीं कहेंगे कैंचियां लाओ. हम क्या कहेंगे? कैंची लाओ. अंग्रेज कहेगा bring me scissors. उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि मुझे एक bundle of scissors. No. They always use it as यानी such things which have this shape. This is always used as plural. Paints. So this is singular, though singular, but they use it as plural. My pants are blue, though it refers to one pair. So some nouns, G. No, my pants are. Scissors are. These scissors are sharp. Lekin in English it refers to one pair. So this is another problem. Yani some words are always used as plural. They don't have singular forms. Third, some words appear to be plural, but they are used as singular. They appear to be plural, but are used as singular. As she said, or someone said, news. News has S here, but it is singular. News is, not news are. It has no singular form. In your case, summons. Summons is singular, not plural, though it is an S. Summons is plural, not plural. It is singular. Physics. Now there are three words here: economics, statistics, politics. Three. which can be used both as plural and singular, depending upon your context. Statistics, economics, politics. When we refer to academic disciplines, these are used as singular. We say statistics is my favorite subject. So here we use is. Economics is a difficult subject. Politics is my favorite subject. Here we use them as singular. But when, for example, we mean finances, then we use economics. What are the economics of this project? It means what are the finances? What are the economics? Means finances. Similarly, what are the statistics? Here means figures. So we can use these three terms both as singular and plural depending upon the context. Similarly, politics means your political beliefs. What are your politics? I am referring to your political beliefs. Politics is the study of political activities. So what you learn, just think over it. Yani some words are always singular, some words are always plural, some words appear to be plural, but they are used as singular. They are not. Similarly, many words have both singular and plural forms with no change in meaning. And a book means then books, pen, pens, man, man. So both forms can be used with no difference in meaning. But there are some words which change their meaning if we make them plural. जी कोई मुझे एग्जाम्पल दे दें. यानी in singular meaning is different, in plural meaning is different.
Right.
नहीं right verb है. नहीं summon होता ही नहीं है, कोई word नहीं है, summon नहीं है, वो word ही summons है. हाँ, very good, exact. So damages different meaning, damages has different meaning, but it has a positive meaning. Damages gives positive meaning. It is not the plural of damage. It means compensation for damage. So here in plural the meaning is different, in singular the meaning is different. Similarly, goods. Goods is different, good is different. So now I can't give you the whole list. What I am trying is to sensitize you to the usage. How these technicalities can be tackled by you. So my advice, or in the light of my experience, I request you to search. If you are in doubt, search it in a good dictionary, especially Cambridge, Oxford, or a Webster, for authenticating it before using it. So it needs hard work on your part. So if you write it, if you adopt it as a habit, then one day you will master the writing skills. So if you don't follow this, then you will go on making mistakes that people know it.
छोटी सी एक्सक्यूज प्रोफेसर, कल आपका इवनिंग सेशन मॉर्निंग में हो जाए, ठीक है?
ठीक है सर, मुझे क्या है?
फाइन. o'clock will be the concluding sermon. तो आपका वीकेंड खराब होने से बस क्या थैंक यू तो बोलो सर ये वैसे केसर का कमाल है ऐसा तेरा थोड़ा है
ये मटेरियल सारे इधर हैं आप ले सकते हैं ठीक है तो these are not my words I have learned them from others so you can also read them and learn on your own ठीक है now that was nouns now we come to pronouns a very tricky though it seems easy but very tricky in legal discourse जी शॉर्ट फॉर्म में है आप ले सकते जी जी
प्रोफेसर साहब आई थोड़ी सी एक्सक्यूज आई एम गोइंग देन
जी
थोड़ा सा आपको मैं इस बैकग्राउंड बनाऊं प्रोफेसर साहब को हमने कैसे एंगेज किया हाउ वी एंगेज्ड हिम इन दिस एक्सरसाइज हमारा एक आइडिया था कि जजमेंट्स पे बहुत ज्यादा शिकायत आ रही थी लैंग्वेज की और ये डिस्कस करने की बात नहीं है जुडिशियल ऑफिसर्स की बिलखुसूस तो हमने एक अरबी फ्रेज को बुनियाद बनाया कि अहसनुल कलामे कल्ला वदल्ला वला युमिल कि इसको बुनियाद बना के प्रोफेसर साहब के साथ हमने इंगेज हुए कि हमें आप इस तरह का वो डेवलप करें एक करिकुलम या इस तरह की चीज कि हमारे जो जजमेंट्स हैं वो पल्ला हों ब्रीफ concise
conciseness.
he used concise number 2 based on argument or wala yumil or thirdly short of boring length एक ये बुनियाद थी दूसरी बुनियाद थी हमारी वन वर्ड वोकेबलरी की कि जजमेंट्स के लिए वन वर्ड वोकेबलरी डेवलप की जाए और एक इस तरह की आर्ट डेवलप की जाए कि हमारे जजेस जो हैं 3-4 सेंटेंस एक सेंटेंस में ला सकें या बहुत सारे अल्फाज को कंपाउंड वर्ड्स मैक्सिमम हम तो सेकंड एक्सरसाइज में तो हम नहीं कामयाब हो सके फर्स्ट में आई होप यू विल लर्न अ लॉट सो जस्ट गिविंग यू अ बैकग्राउंड ऑफ दैट ओके
थैंक यू सर so coming to pronouns in your legal texts there is always a note to it they use he they use he in legal documents but a note says this contains she आपने नहीं पढ़ा यानी it contains both he and she तो these are pronouns तो इसकी एक बड़ी कहानी है लीगल हिस्ट्री में अब आके वो कहते हैं कि जी इन दोनों को इस्तेमाल करें अदरवाइज योर कॉन्टेक्स्ट इज नॉट क्लियर if your context is general you use both he or she you should not say he contains she or she so correct use of pronouns is very essential so here again if we go into details of what subject pronoun is what object pronoun is what is emphatic pronouns what is demonstrative and whether so I give you just glimpses so here you have to work on your own pronouns in legal English search for it pronouns in legal English so you can search it how pronouns are used in legal English and how we can avoid ambiguities means double meanings so if you create double meanings your reader it confuses your reader so we should avoid using double meanings the third is adjective in English as I said earlier adjectives are used before the words they modify adjectives are called modifiers so they modify words. And then here you have to be very careful while using your adjectives. Do you know what adjectives are? Yani adjectives bring changes in the meaning of nouns and pronouns. They modify nouns and pronouns. So therefore they are called modifiers. Now adjectives can be gradable and non-gradable. Adjectives can be gradable and non-gradable, and which have degrees, positive, comparative, and superlative, or no degrees. For example, great, greater, greatest, this is gradable adjective. Great, greater, greatest, this is called gradable. But when you say absolute, but we can't say more absolute, most absolute, no. Absolute is absolute, like dead is dead. We can't say less dead, more dead. So they don't have grades. Therefore, they are called non-gradable adjectives. Another example is perfect. Perfect has no. Similarly, unique. We can't say more unique, most unique. Unique is unique. So, gradable adjectives, non-gradable adjectives. The third point to remember about adjective is order of adjectives in English. Yani, we can't use them anyway, the way we want. No, it has its own order, and we have to follow this order. And I have invented a formula for it. Write it like dosas, D-O-S-A-S. Dosas is this like dosas. One is problematic, and then when they become two, then it is more problematic. Comb, C-O-M-P. P, dosas, comb. So D refers to determiners. By D we mean determiners. D-E-T-E-R-M-I-N-E-R-S, determiners. And by determiners we mean articles, a and they are the.
तो हम syntax कह सकते हैं सर? Syntax, syntax सर.
एक मिनट, वो बाद में उसकी तरफ आऊंगा. या अभी ऑर्डर को समझे जी, ये पार्ट ऑफ सिंटेक्स ऑर्डर. Yani, good question, because as I defined, I said earlier, every language has its own logic. English has the logic of these articles. It makes problems for us. So a and they, these are called articles. They is pronounced before consonants, the is pronounced before vowels. And the apple, not the apple, the apple, but the book. So before consonant it is pronounced they, before vowels it is pronounced the. So they are the A or N. These are called articles. And first of all, in a sentence while using adjectives, so articles are also adjectives. So first we use articles. For example, a judge, they judge. A liar, they liar. We don't say judge they, yeah, liar they. So it is used before the word. First of all, we use determiners. Similarly, like articles, we have possessive adjectives, my, your, his, some. Write it please. My, your, his, their, some, few, a few, the few. These are some of the examples of determiners. So first we use determiners in this order. G. Then comes the O refers to opinion. O means opinion. By opinion we mean great, beautiful, difficult, ugly, efficient, effective. These are opinions. So after determiners we use opinions. The efficient judge, write the example also. So they is determiner, efficient is opinion, the efficient judge. Okay. Then we use size. The first S refers to size. Yani by size we mean small, large, big. G, the efficient, good, very good. Nice, smart is opinion. See? An efficient small car. An efficient small car. G, G. ब्रेक करना है करें ठीक नहीं मैं मुझे भी तो पढ़ना है ठीक है जी ये बोरिंग होता है हाँ अच्छा चलो थैंक यू an efficient a beautiful large old car very good a beautiful A is a determiner a beautiful large size old age car. So this is the order. If you change the order you will give no meaning. So this is the logic we have to follow.
And there is no logic.
No, S is for size, the first S. Second S is for shape. Second S is for shape. Shape means circular, oval, square, triangular. First S is size. Second S is shape. It's DG, shape. Nah. Yani I bought a beautiful, large, old, oval house. I bought a beautiful, large, old, house. So usually, here the logic is, usually we are not supposed to use more than 4. Maximum we have to use 5, not more than 5. Then it becomes clumsy. So we have to use 4, 5 maximum. Now if there are more than 5 adjectives to use, we have to create another sentence for accommodating it. We should not use all the 7 or 8 adjectives, then it becomes clumsy and confusing for the reader to get the meaning. Now the second part, comb. C is for color, black, white, red. C is for color. O is for origin. Origin means Pakistani, Punjabi, English, Chinese, Japanese. Okay. M for material. Wooden, woolen, iron, gold. And then P is for purpose. For example, I bought a black Pakistani woolen blanket for sleeping. For winter. So for winter is purpose. That comes at the end. C is color. O is origin. First O is opinion. Second O is origin. M is material. And P is purpose. So if we are supposed to use 7 or 8 adjectives in a sentence in this order, so first we have to use the first 4 or 5 adjectives, and then we have to use 4 or 5 in another sentence. If we use all the adjectives in one sentence, it confuses your reader. So, but the order is this. The ideal, this is called the royal order of adjectives in English. The royal order of adjectives in English. ये शाही तरतीब है. Now, if we use, when we use adjective this way in a series, if we follow this serial order, we call this cumulative adjectives. Cumulative. Cumulative. C-U-M-U-L-A-T-I-V-E. Cumulative. And here the point to remember is we do not use comma for separating the elements. Remember it. Here we do not use comma. ये जो आप फिर पढ़ें अपने sentences को. We do not use comma here. If we use adjectives in a serial way, following this method. Because this is the theme, there are different themes in it. If the themes are different, themes means one is opinion, another is age, another is shape, different themes. So when the themes are different, we do not use comma between the elements. Now, if the theme is similar, if the same theme is used, then we have to separate each element with a comma. That is called coordinate adjectives. G. Now write sentences. A black and white coat. Write it. A black and white coat. A white and black coat. Order को change करें. A white and black coat. A black white coat. Another. A black white coat without a comma. And a black white coat with a comma. A black white coat with a comma. Now read them again. The first is a black and white coat. The second is a white black coat. Now there is no difference in meaning. So the order is changed. So here we can change the order without changing the meaning. Clear hai? Now, when we say a black white coat without a comma, this is not the convention. This makes no sense. So here we always have to use a comma before black and white. यहाँ अगर बोर्ड होता ना white board है, अगर white board इधर हो तो मैं आपको समझाऊंगा. देखें, I bought a black, red, write it. I bought a black, red blue, yellow, green, coat. Now, here if you change the order, it does not affect your meaning. फिर इसको पढ़ें, यानी 4-5 रंग है ना, इनमें से किसी भी रंग को शुरू में लाओ, किसी भी को आखिर में लाओ, it does not affect your meaning. So here we can change the order, but here we use comma between the elements. Without comma it makes no sense. It means I bought a coat which have all these colors. So here in coordinate adjectives we have to use a comma, but in serial adjectives we don't use comma. Therefore we cannot change the order, we have to follow the order. Here we can change the order. This is the main difference. Another point to remember about adjectives is, in English, some adjectives are used as nouns. Some adjectives are used as nouns and always as plural, not singular. Some adjectives are used nouns, but always plural, not singular. And these adjectives always take they or the before them. For example, they blind, it means all blind people. So here you have to say the blind are. You can't say the blind is, the blind are, and all blind people. The disabled are. The disabled are. The unemployed are. So here we have to use they are the, and we have to use plural verb always. Now, another point to remember is what we call articles, they, the, a or an. These are also adjectives. These are adjectives because they modify nouns and nouns, not pronouns, nouns. But these articles are feature of English language. In our language we don't use articles. So this is the logic of English language. यानी उर्दू में, in Urdu, we don't say ये एक किताब है, we don't say. Do we say? हाँ, जोर देने के लिए अगर हो वो अलग बात है कि ये दो नहीं एक किताब है, लेकिन उमूमन हम ये नहीं कहेंगे ये एक, हम कहेंगे ये किताब है. But this is wrong in English to say this is book. No. This is a book. This is a pen. So all countable nouns, write it. This is the principle to remember. All countable nouns take articles before them. All countable nouns. Now here again, we have to follow the logic of the English language, not our logic. When we say countable, what the native speakers deem countable, not we. हम शुमार करना शुरू नहीं करेंगे, because sometimes it works, but sometimes it does not work. जी जी उसमें रूल नहीं है. हाँ जी 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 ये देखें ज़बानें थोड़ा मोड़ा मैंने मशरक़ी ज़बानों को भी पढ़ा है. यहाँ एक इस्तिलाह वो इस्तेमाल करते हैं, उसको कहते हैं सीमाई ज़बान. सिमाई का मतलब ये होता है उसके लिए रूल नहीं होते, वी लर्न इट फ्रॉम लिसनिंग. So we have to listen to English and learn it. This is Simai, more Simai language, auditory language. Sometimes this countability works, sometimes not. For example, take honor. Okay, honor. Is honor countable? Can be counted? Honor, H-O-N-O-U-R, write it. Honor, H-O-N-O-U-R. Is it countable? No. Okay. But they say, for example, I say, it is an honor for me. I don't say it is honor for me. It takes a or an. It is an honor, write it. लेकिन उर्दू में अगर कहूँगा ये मेरे लिए एक इज्जत है, it makes no sense. But they say ये मेरे लिए एक इज्जत है. This is not wrong to say in English, this is honor for me. Okay? This is an honor for me. This is a pleasure for me. Not this is pleasure for me. Though both honor and pleasure are not countable. So our logic does not work. We have to follow the logic of the English language. Similarly, fire. Take another example. Fire. F-I-R-E, fire. So they say, I make a fire. इसका मतलब बंदूक चलाना नहीं है. I make a fire means मैंने आग जलाई. तो आप ए इस्तेमाल करेगा वो. तो आप हैरान होंगे यार ये एक आग किधर से आ गया, या एक इज्जत किधर से आ गई. इज्जत को तो हम शुमार नहीं कर सकते. लेकिन here again we have to follow the English language. So whether it is used as countable or not countable, we have to depend upon the native speakers. Similarly, when it comes to they, I give you two examples, two sentences rather. I went to school, I went to the school, right? Two sentences. I went to school, I went to school, I went to this school. What is the difference? Think over it. I went to school, I went to school, I went to this school. Difference. Shabash. Shabash, shabash. हाँ वो specify वाला जो है ना, you have to de-learn it. Here again you have to apply my rule of de-learning. क्योंकि स्कूल में हमें ये पढ़ाया गया कि ये दी जो है ना ये specification के लिए. So that is part of it, not the whole thing. So here it does not specify. When you go to school for teaching or for reading, then you do not use they. It means either you are a student or a teacher over there. एक उस्ताद ये कहेगा I went to school. But because these articles are also adjectives. Similarly, when they say the kitchen, a student, for example, says, may I go to the bathroom? Here, the bathroom does not refer to any specific bathroom, but they use they with bathroom. They use they. So we have always to say to the bathroom, not to bathroom. So some of the technicalities we have to learn where the logic of their language works, not our logic works. Now After adjectives, verbs. We come to verbs. Fail, verb. Verb, V-E-R-B, verb, fail, verbs, jama, af'al. Here we have to be clear about two terms, infinitive, infinitive. Infinitive is masdar, infinitive. In Urdu, the masdar marker is na, karna, palna, ana, sona, khana. These are masdar in Urdu. What is masdar? A form of a verb with no reference to time. A form of a verb with no reference to time. There is no reference to time. Karna, palna, ana, jana. Now in English we use to before first form of verbs. To go, to play, to come, to write, to read. These are infinitives. अच्छा, अब मुझे कोई पश्तो वाला कोई है? पश्तो वाला आप पश्तो में इन्फिनिटिव्स बताएं अभी मुझे। पश्तो में क्या होगा? हालांकि पश्तो मेरी ज़बान नहीं है। नहीं, देखिए मैंने डिफाइन क्या किया, फॉर्म ऑफ वर्ब्स विद नो रेफरेंस टू टाइम। करना, करना में टाइम नहीं है, पढ़ना। तो पश्तो में लाम आता है, खुरल, खुरल, कावल। तो लाम आएगा, it means it is a infinitive marker in Pashto. So in English the one form is infinitive, which has no reference to time. If there is a reference to time, then it becomes tense. What is tense? Use of a verb with reference to time. Tense का नाम तो सुना होगा ना, definition आपने नहीं किया है। Tenses किया है स्कूल में? हाँ, but you don't know how to define it. Use of verbs with reference to time. Now these time frames are different from language to language. And in English there are three major time frames: present, past, future. Then each time frame has 4 subframes. Then there are 12 tenses in English. 3 major, 4 subtypes, 4 into 3, 12. So we have to learn these 12 tenses, and then the context of each tense, because each tense has its own context. What judges do when they write, they don't know how to be consistent in tense. वो कभी past में जाते होते हैं, कभी फिर present perfect में जाते हैं, कभी future में जाते हैं, in the same environment. तो वो confusion होता है, ये past है, ये present है. तो each tense has its own context. So you have to use each tense its own proper context. 12 tenses. This is one thing you should. जी, infinitive means it can be used, but when it is used, does not refer to any time frame. For example, when you say I go, there is time. I went, there is time. I have gone, there is time. I was going, there is time. I have been going, there is time. I will go, I will have gone, I will have been going. So there are times. But when you say to go, so to go in itself has no time frame. It
outside the domain of tenses.
No. It means verbs have 2 forms. One referring to time frames, one without time frames. So another form of verbs is that we call.
It would obviously fall within one time frame and be
Present tenses.
The tenses means use of verbs with reference to time. That is clear. But here this infinitive, मुझे करना है उर्दू में, मुझे ये काम करना है जी, इसी तरह मुझे करना था, तो यहाँ ये एक प्रेजेंट में हो गया, एक पास्ट में हो, मुझे करना होगा, तो ये डिफरेंट उसमें जाएगा, लेकिन in itself it does not refer to a tense. Tense means time plus verb. Now another form of verb or type of verb is modal verb. Modal, M-O-D-A-L. Modal verb means these verbs create modalities. We use them for modalities. Now in legal English you say for binding clauses you use shall. Now shall is a modal verb. You shall means this is a obligatory clause. This is a modal verb. Similarly, can is used for permission, for ability, and so on and so forth. Or some verbs may be used for formal. For example, could you please? So could does not refer to tense, it refers to modality. Could you please means very formal way of, polite way of saying things. Could you please? Would you please? So may, might, must. Must is used for internal compulsion. Have to is used for external compulsion. Must, the difference between must and have to. One is internal compulsion, the other is external compulsion. Have to. G. Yani when you say, I must see a judge, so this is your problem. It means this is your problem, you have to see the judge. I must see a doctor. When you say, I have to see a judge, so this is external circumstances demand this. Then you say, I have to. मेरे ख्याल में आपको कोई कंफ्यूजन है, बॉडी लैंग्वेज ठीक है, क्लियर है ये, मस्ट और यू हैव टू क्लियर हो गया. सो दीज आर कॉल्ड modal verbs. So you have to be on your alert while using these modal verbs. How to use, when to use, and how to use. G. And now we come to another problem. Write two sentences, please. I forgot to lock my office. I forgot to lock my office. I forgot locking my office. What do you think? Is there a difference or no difference or some other thing? Yani I give you a tip. One is positive, the other is negative.
Second one is negative.
आप उर्दू में इसको तर्जुमा करके मुझे बताएं, शाबाश. देखें, हाँ हाँ, पहला वाला आई फॉरगॉट टू लॉक द डोर या जो ऑफिस, इसका मतलब है मैं भूल गया, लॉक नहीं किया, इसका मतलब ये है, ठीक है। दूसरे का मतलब ये है मुझे याद नहीं कि मैंने किया या नहीं, आई डोंट रिमेंबर दैट। तो अब देखें, वन इज आईएनजी फॉर्म, द अदर इज टू फॉर्म। तो one is infinitive form, the other is called gerund form, gerundal. The ing form is called gerund, G-E-R-U-N-D, gerund. So ing form is called gerund, the other is infinitive. So sometimes it so happens, it is not always, does not happen, always happen, but the problem is there, because some verbs are used with infinitives. Some verbs are used with gerunds. Some verbs are used with both with no difference in meaning. Some verbs are used with both with difference in meaning. So 4 different aspects. Now, take another example. The judge considers to go to Karachi. The judge considers to go to Karachi. अब देखें ये गलत है या ठीक है? What do you think about it?
It is a present indefinite tense. So,
जी जी, देखें बात सिर्फ इतनी है, when we use consider, it does not take infinitive. तो infinitive को जब हम समझेंगे फिर इसको हम समझेंगे. It always takes gerund. The judge considers going to Karachi. और इस पर जो मेरा वो है वो ले लें, वो कौन से वर्ब्स हैं जो सिर्फ इन्फिनिटिव के साथ इस्तेमाल होते हैं, वो कौन से वर्ब्स हैं जो जेरंड के साथ इस्तेमाल होते हैं, वो कौन से वर्ब्स हैं जो, नाउ आई गिव यू अनदर एग्जांपल ऑफ, फॉर एग्जांपल आई लाइक टू रीड नॉवेल्स. I like to read novels. I like to read novels. ठीक है? हाँ, I like reading novels. Now there is no difference. Both are correct. Both can be used. That means. So here it makes no difference which version is you say are using. Now when you say the judge stopped smoking, the judge stopped to smoke. 2 sentences. The judge stopped to smoke, the judge stopped smoking. The judge stopped smoking, the judge stopped to smoke. अब देखिए, these are opposites. Stopped smoking means quit. उसने वो आदत पीना ही छोड़ दिया. अच्छा, stops to smoke का मतलब जाते जाते हुए सिगरेट निकाल के, तो the judge stopped to smoke. तो अब एक infinitive structure है, एक gerund structure है, तो opposite meanings. हाँ, तो मैं कोशिश इस तरह करता हूं ना कि इस तरह मिसालें दूं कि वो आपके जहन में बैठ जाए कि जी हाँ ये मसला है. तो आप क्या करेंगे, यहां हम this is not possible for us to cover all such problems. Here I am sensitizing you to these problems. So before using a structure, get it confirmed okay, how this is used. Otherwise you will make mistakes, such mistakes. So I have another, if we have time, we discuss it. So this is what we call verb. So verb has their own technicalities in English, and we have to learn them. Afterwards, we have adverbs. 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 ADVERBS, adverbs. Adverbs are words or group of words used to show how, where, or when something happened. It answers these questions. How something happened? How. Where something happened? When something happened. So words telling us these answers are called adverbs. And adverbs change or modify adjectives, verbs, and adverbs themselves. They have nothing to do with nouns and pronouns. Adjectives, verbs are adverbs themselves. Adverbs have nothing to do with nouns and pronouns. No. They change, they bring a change in adjectives, in verbs, and in adverbs themselves. Now the problem in English is some words are used both as adjectives and adverbs. So here we are confused. For example, words like weekly, yearly, daily, weekly, monthly, annually, biannually, these can be used both as adverbs and adjectives. Because when you say a yearly meeting, we took part in a yearly meeting, right? So yearly meeting, it modifies meeting. Daily meeting. So meeting is a noun. So here it is used as adjective, not adverb. We meet daily to solve this problem. So we meet daily. So daily modifies meet. We meet daily. So daily is used both as adverb and adjective. So generate your own sentences, please, to learn this. How to use it as an adjective and how to use it as an adverb. हो गया? अच्छा, now sometimes it so happens words seem adverbs, but they are not adverbs. They play tricks with us. For example, friendly, friendly, lovely, costly, costly. Now they seem adverbs, but they are not adverbs. They are adjectives. He is a friendly judge. He is a friendly person. Okay? He is a friendly person. So friendly modifies person. We can't say he spoke friendly to me. No. He spoke friendly to me is wrong. He spoke in a friendly way. He spoke in a friendly way. That is correct. So some words confuse us, whether they are adjectives or whether they are adverbs. So we have to be on our alert while using them. Similarly, your people. Your people means judges, lawyers, whom I have been reading for the last many years for learning this legal English. They use, and writers should be careful while using their adjectives and their adverbs, because they create problems. For example, in judgments we read the counsel strongly argued. ठीक है? तो strongly argued is an adverb. ये एक पार्टी के साथ आप लिखते हैं लेकिन दूसरे के साथ नहीं लिखते. It means you are biased. तो ये तो इतना आसान नहीं है. यानी एक काउंसिल के साथ आपने लिखा द काउंसिल स्ट्रांगली आर्ग्यूड, दूसरे के साथ आपने लिखा द काउंसिल आर्ग्यूड. It means you are biased. So you have to be very careful while using your adjectives and your adverbs. Very careful. Similarly, when something happened, how something happened, that is also very important to note. So how and when and where, these are adverbs. Here I give you some interesting examples as far the syntax is concerned. Write a few sentences. Only our judge eats fish. Only our judge eats fish. Our judge eats only fish. Our judge only eats fish. Now 3 sentences. Our judge only eats fish.
जी सर.
Okay? Now these 3 uses of only give 3 different senses. Are you clear? कि क्लियर नहीं है? यानी ओनली आवर जज का मतलब ये सिर्फ हमारा जज है, और दूसरे का मतलब है वो सिर्फ मछली खाता है, तीसरे का मतलब है वो सिर्फ खाता है, उसके साथ खेलता नहीं है. ओनली ईट्स. ठीक है? तो अब ये these are short and simple examples to know how these words can play tricks with us. अच्छा, एक और सेंटेंस लिखें. And this sentence refers to one used by a famous comedian. I don't remember the name. I shot an elephant in my pants. I shot an elephant in my pajamas लिखें, उधर पिजामा था. An elephant in my pajamas. यहाँ pajamas, both spelling are correct. या py से भी लिख सकते हैं, pa से भी लिख सकते हैं. यहाँ pants लिखें जिसको पैजामा जरा वो है. तो आप इस पे सोचें क्या कह रहा है. I shot an elephant in my pajamas or in my pants. जी, लेकिन ये सेंटेंस क्या वो आपका वो दे रहा है. तो मतलब ये है कि अगर आप अपने इन अल्फाज के आर्डर को ठीक नहीं रखेंगे, यू कैन क्रिएट हिलेरियस लाफेबल स्ट्रक्चर्स. तो ये जो मौजूदा इन इट्स एग्जिस्टिंग फॉर्म, इट सेज the speaker shot an elephant in his pajamas. That is not possible. ठीक है जी. और फिर shot, because here we enter another domain that is called polysemy. 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 Polysemy means the feature of having one word with many meanings. Polysemy. Poly means many, semy means meaning. Semy. Polysemy, one word, many meanings. Polysemy. So in English, polysemy is very, very problematic, because some writers say the word set, S-E-T, set, small, short, very simple word. But they say it is used in 400 different senses. 400. 400 senses हैं इसके. Get के 50 senses. Get has 50 different senses. तो यहाँ भी short में जरा फिर सोचें अभी. ये short उस मानों में नहीं है जिसको आप समझ लें. Shot. Shot. Take a picture. ये मारने का उसमें नहीं. And I took a picture of an elephant wearing pajamas. अच्छा, आप ये जुमला लिखें. I shot an elephant wearing pajamas. ये लिखें. I shot an elephant wearing pajamas. अब इसका क्या मतलब होगा? हाँ, एलिफेंट ने पैजामा पहना है. वेरी गुड. तो हम लिखते हैं, उस पर सोचते नहीं है. तो आप ऑर्डर को चेंज करेंगे. थोड़ा मेहनत की जरूरत है. यू कैन क्रिएट क्लियर, वेरी कम्युनिकेटिव सेंटेंसेस. तो wearing pajamas, I shot an elephant. I took picture of an elephant. तो ये आपको समझ आ गया कि जी what to do and how to do. How words play tricks. How this order plays tricks. तो इनको समझना चाहिए आपको. आप हम गलत करेंगे तो हम कंफ्यूज करेंगे रीडर को. So these are a few examples. I will give you more if we have time. The second next word is conjunction. Conjunction. Harf atf, I think this is called. There are two major types of conjunctions in English: coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. And there is a famous formula for coordinating conjunctions. They call it fan voice. F-A-N, all capital. F-A-N-B-O-Y-S, fan voice. B-O-Y-S, fan voice. Now, fan, F, fan. F is for, F-O-R, for. For is a coordinating conjunction. And, A is for and. And is a coordinating conjunction. Then N, nor, N-O-R, nor is a coordinating conjunction. And then but, B, but. O-R, O is for R, O-R. Y, yet, boy. Y is for yet, and S is for so. So, for, and, nor, but, for, and nor, or, yet. These are coordinating conjunctions. Now, coordinating conjunctions are used to connect, to join compound sentences. To join compound sentences. Now, here we have to know the structure of sentences. If we don't know the structure, we will not be able to use properly. Yani, a simple sentence means one subject, one predicate. That is simple sentence. Simple means a sentence with one subject, one predicate. That is simple. Simple that does not mean it is short, remember. Simple means one subject, one predicate. Words may be more than 20. But if the subject is one, the predicate is one, it is called simple. Now, if there are more than two or more than two sentences, clauses in a sentence, this is called a compound sentence. So these coordinating conjunctions are used to join compound sentences. Compound sentences means simple sentences. Now I give you examples. Write sentences. First, write sentences, not clauses. Ali is a judge. One sentence. Ali is a judge. Aslam is an accountant. Full stop के बाद लिखें. Jamil is a doctor. Jamal is an engineer. So 4 sentences. Now we want to put them in one structure. Now how to put them in one structure? Here we need two things. One, the use of semicolon or semicolon, the dot and comma, that is called semicolon. Dot and comma. This is like this. This is called semicolon. Ali is a judge, semicolon, write it again. After semicolon, Aslam is an accountant. Then put another semicolon. Jamil is a doctor, another semicolon, and then put and Jamil is an engineer. So we use and for this. So all the clauses are of equal importance. अच्छा इस तरह एक और स्ट्रक्चर ऑन योर ओन देख ऑन योर ओन इस तरह का स्ट्रक्चर एक बनाए And remember, we do not use a comma here. If you use a comma, then that is called comma splice, wrong use of comma. Here we have to use semicolon, not a comma. Comma has its different uses. हो गया अच्छा next is f for for here for means because write two sentences the judge was absent one sentence he was ill second sentence the judge was absent one second is he was ill now put them one structure हो गया जी for यानी for is also used as a preposition remember it is also used as a preposition but here we use it as conjunction for connecting clauses and next is nor so nor is always used with neither or neither it is not used alone it is always used is put with neither neither nor structure can you use it in a sentence neither nor neither nor इस्तेमाल किया. B for but. But is used for creating contrast.
Correct that we cannot use the word but in start of a sentence.
Yes, we can use it now. Yes.
Sentence can be started.
GG, but it is not standard, but we can use it. जी इसको put it in a sentence, but. But no, put in a sentence. Use your own sentence for it. And create two clauses and then join two clauses with but. हो गया आपका? हाँ.
I was tired but played the match.
एक मिनट मुझे they can put it in your context, in some official context, in some legal or judicial context, then you GG. लिखे शाबाश ट्राई करें. देखें इसका सेंटेंस जो है आप you are not getting me. English is, देखें A is missing here. English is a famous language. When you say English is famous language, it is incorrect. Because language is a countable noun. It always takes a and they before it. So, a famous language. This is one class. Then he says, but difficult. But difficult is a phrase, not a class. When you say, but it is difficult, then it becomes a class. But it is difficult. And here in principle, we use comma here in all these. उसूलन यहाँ हमें comma इस्तेमाल करना है. G in all coordinating clauses. G before but, before and, before neither, before for. And then किसका क्या करूं किस ये बट को हाँ ये जितने भी फैन बॉयज है ना फैन बॉयज को याद रखें where we use fan boys we have to put comma in principle fan boys ऊपर लिखा है ना जी in principle जी ये उसूल है आपने सीख लिया बस where to use comma here we have to use comma this is one use it does not mean it is the whole use it is one of the uses नमाज का वक्त हो गया चलो ठीक हाँ अच्छा तो क्या करेंगे चलो ठीक है आप मर्जी ठीक मैं तो मिला के पढ़ूंगा कहते हैं नमाज के लिए जी मेरा तरीका ये है मैं सुकरात की तरह चलता फिरता हूँ मैं इधर एक जगह में नहीं रह सकता क्लास में मैं हर एक स्टूडेंट के पास पहुंचता हूँ, इंडिविजुअल देखता हूँ ना. R is always used with either or either, and this makes pair, either or. Either is used with R, another pair. Then Y, yet. Yet is a cousin of but. And it is also used for contrast. He is poor, yet he is honest. He is poor, comma, yet he is honest. Comma nahi dala. He is poor, comma, yet he is honest. So, S, as you sow, so shall you reap. I hope you would remember it. As you sow, comma, so shall you reap. So these are called independent clause and two or more than two dependent clauses. a bit confusing. यानी किसी भी सेंटेंस में एक इंडिपेंडेंट क्लास होता ही है, रिमेंबर, वन मस्ट, बिकॉज विदाउट एन इंडिपेंडेंट क्लास देयर वुड बी नो सेंटेंस. सो if there is one independent clause and two or more than two dependent clauses, then it makes a complex sentence. And subordinating conjunctions are used to connect complex sentences, not compound sentences. Now I give you examples. The judge was absent because he was ill. The judge was absent because he was ill. You can put it in two different ways. So here we do not use a comma. The judge was absent because he was ill. Now we can say it this way. Because he was ill, comma, the judge was absent. So here we use a comma. In the other structure we do not use a comma. Yani it means if we use a subordinating conjunction in the beginning of a clause, we have to put a comma after it. If you use it in the middle of a sentence, we do not put a comma. That is the difference. You can use both structures. So because is a subordinating conjunction. So there are so many other subordinating conjunctions. There is if. though, although, even though. And then when we come to if, there are, then we have to know to understand conditional sentences, because there are, I think, 4 conditional sentences, 4. Zero conditional, number 1. Zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. 4 types of conditionals with if. 4 types of conditionals. By zero conditional, we mean both parts are in the present tense. And when the both parts are in the present tense, we call it zero conditional. And we use this conditional when we are describing situations about which we are 100% sure what happens. And for describing, usually for describing scientific facts or such truths that cannot be denied, we have to use this structure. For example, water boils if we raise the temperature to 100. लिखें sentence. Water boils if we raise the temperature to 100. So here both the parts are in the present tense, because it describes a scientific fact. Now make your own sentence based upon this structure. You can use if in the beginning with a comma after it, and you can put if in the middle without a comma. Both structures are possible. And if we are describing scientific facts or things like these, we have to use this structure in which present indefinite tense is used in both parts. This is called zero conditional. This is called zero conditional. Now first conditional. In the first conditional, the if part is in the present tense. It is always in the present tense. In first conditional, the if part is always in the present tense. And the next part is simple future. The judge will not come if it rains. The judge will not come if it rains. So here the if part is in the present tense and the other part is in the future tense. So make your own sentence, please, and then show it to me. ठीक है. And you can put if in the beginning. If you put if in the beginning, then you have to put comma after the clause. If you use if in the middle, you don't put a comma. That is the principle.
I will attend the meeting.
ठीक है. Good. अब हो गया कि नहीं? ठीक है. And then second conditional. This is first condition. Second conditional refers to unreal life situations in future. Unreal life situations. Third conditional refers to unreal situations in future. Unreal means and which are not real, and we think, we wish. For example, I buy you a car, I would buy you a car, I would buy you a car if I won the lottery. I would buy you a car if I won the lottery. अब देखें, I would buy you. So here we use would. Then if I won, past tense, but it refers to future. यानी अगर ऐसा हुआ, अनरियल है ना, इसका मतलब यह है कि मैं नहीं जीतूंगा, अगर जीत गया तो आपके लिए कार ले लूंगा. It refers to future, but the structure is past. If I won. So make your own sentence. I would buy you. So here we use would, not will. This is called third conditional. आप अपने कॉन्टेक्स्ट में जुमले नहीं बना रहे हैं, आप गेम और उसकी तरफ जा रहे हैं. You have to make sentences in your own context, official context, in legal context, in judicial context. You have to contextualize it.
I would go there if I got permission from my father.
From the authority. If I am permitted by the authority, I was. Yeah, it takes past. Would and past. So one is past, the other is would. This refers to unreal future situations. Then comes fourth conditional. Fourth conditional refers to third conditional refers to past unreal situations. One is future unreal situation, the other is past unreal situation. Here we use had, yani past perfect, and would have. I would have gotten good grades if I had worked hard. I would have gotten good grades if I had worked hard. If I had worked hard.
I would have good grades had I worked hard.
Gee, that is formal. This is informal. So you can use had in the beginning. Had I worked hard, that is also possible. But I would have. So this refers to past unreal situation. So the structure is different. So there are 4 conditionals: 0 conditional, first conditional, second, third conditional. Now these are subordinating conjunctions. If we have time, I give you more details. Now we go to prepositions. The prepositions. We did conjunctions and now we are doing prepositions. And prepositions are again very tricky in English. Because sometimes some verbs always take prepositions. One situation. Likhe, write it down. Some verbs always take prepositions. Ji, always take prepositions. Some verbs take prepositions depending upon the context. Here I give you depending upon the context. For example, if we say, a thief entered into my office. A thief entered into my office. What do you think, whether this is correct or incorrect? A thief entered into my office. Think over it. Correct or incorrect? Don't think in Urdu. Think in English. देखें हम उर्दू में सोचते हैं. We have to think in English. I gave you tips earlier. हाँ, देखें, when we use enter for physical entry, we do not use a preposition.
Yes.
The thief entered my office, but an idea entered into my mind. 2 different situations. The parties entered into a contract. Perfectly correct. Physically we don't use. So these are tricky situations, and we have to be on the alert for using, before using prepositions. Because when we say the parties entered into a contract, that is perfectly correct. But we can't say the parties entered contract. But we can say an idea entered into my mind. That is correct. So physically it is not used. So if we have time, I will give you a book that is soft form, in short form, Mastering Prepositions in English. Mastering Prepositions in English. You have to read that book, because here we can't cover all these problems. Mastering Prepositions in English. Then G comes interjections. And interjections are words or expressions used to show sudden reactions, emotional reactions. These emotions may be happiness, hatred, anger. Yani interjections show emotions, different emotions. These may be words, phrases, clauses, sentences. So usually we don't use them in formal writing, so we are not supposed to go into detail. But you should know we use a sign called sign of exclamation after each interjection. Now these mechanics, this is mechanics. Yani how to use words, how to use phrases, how to use clauses, how to use sentences, because all these days combine to make discourse. So if we master the mechanics, then we can speak correctly, then we can write correctly, then we can get across our messages correctly. Otherwise we make mistakes. So here I am just sensitizing you to the areas. If you are interested in learning more, then I go into details, or I will give you the material for further reading. The next is legal English. As I told you earlier, they used Latin. In England, they used Latin for legal purposes. Keeping in mind, in the medieval age, they used Latin. Therefore, here Latin came into use. And they wrote their judgments or other legal documents in Latin. Because English has no that level of writing system. Latin had that level of writing system. They had developed it. The Christian priests had developed it. They know how to write, how to use Latin. Now with the passage of time, they turned to English because the subject, the people were English. They knew English. Their language was English. They did not know Latin. Only lawyers and judges and expert people knew Latin. Common people did not know Latin. Therefore, slowly and gradually with the passage of time, they turned to English. And English became their academic language. And then English started to be taught at schools, at colleges, and at university levels. And textbooks were written in English. And even today, you know better, you are in a better position. There are so many Latin phrases in legal English that you still use. It is because of that influence. And all words related to court, administration, or legal or judicial situations, they come either from French or from Latin sources. Now, what happened later, especially in the 20th century? No one had the courage to challenge the legal English. No one had the courage to challenge it. Now there appeared a lawyer called Malenkov. Write it, the name please. Malenkov, he was a lawyer, not a language person. Malenkov, Malenkov. He was the first person to challenge the legal language. He was the first person to criticize the legal language. And the title of his book is The Law and the Language. It was written in 1963. And for the first time in the history of law, a law person appeared on the scene to challenge the language of the law. वो कहता है यार हम यो कर रहे हैं ये क्या समझ में नहीं आ रही. We do it, we know it, but people don't know it. So for the first time he criticized the use of doublets and triplets in legal English. What is a doublet? For example, will and testament, write it. This is called a doublet. Will and testament. Will is an English word, testament is a Latin word. So when you know, when you write, a lawyer writes, he always writes will and testament. So for the first time Malenkov challenged it, because only one word suffices. Why two words? Either use will or use testament. तो पहली दफा उसने चैलेंज किया इनको 1963 में. Similarly, there are doublets. I will give you the list, and there are triplets. Yani 3 words giving the same meaning, 2 words giving the same meaning. It is only and only imposing of one's knowledge on others. No meaning. अब भी जब आप लीगल इंग्लिश को पढ़ेंगे, डॉक्यूमेंट्स को पढ़ें, तो आपको पता चलेगा कि इसमें इतनी वर्बोसिटी है. तो फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, and those who can afford it, I have not read this book, search for it. I have read some parts of it because parts are available on the net, Law and Language by Malenkov. From that time onwards, then law people, law professors, legal professionals, they came forward, and then they start reading legal texts again and again. Okay, what is wrong with it? So with this background, they are working for and on plain legal English. Based upon this. This is the background. Plain legal English. Now there is an act has been passed in America that all legal instruments must be written in plain legal English. So the term used by Malenkov for this legal variety of English, they call it gobbledygook. Gobbledygook. And no one understands it. Gobbledygook. Gobbledygook. So you can search for it, gobbledygook in legal English. Now this has started as a movement in English-speaking countries, in Canada, in America, in Australia, even in England. They are writing, are using plain legal English. And Lord Denning, the Chief Justice of England, he is famous for writing his judgments in plain legal English. So what does it mean to be plain, to use plain legal English? Number one, use of short and simple words. Use of short and simple. Because if words are short, it does not consume our energy. And simple. Number 2, use of familiar words instead of unfamiliar words and phrases. Number 3, avoidance of doublets and triplets. Use one word if it suffices. If it does not suffice to give your meaning, then use 2 or 3 words, otherwise never. कितने points हो गए? 3, 4. Avoid use of nominalizations. Avoid use of nominalizations. Nominalizations. Nominalization means use of noun structures. Use of noun structures usually found in legal texts. For example, for the examination of. लिखें, for the examination of. Now, how many words are there? Now you use 100 times in a given document for the examination of, then think what would happen. So they say instead of using these structures, say to examine. Use verb structures. So it is short, it is simple, it is understandable. So they don't use nominalizations in plain English. And if we have time, I will show you how they write their judgments. I will show you judgments written by Lord Denning. I will show you what other features of this plain legal English is, and what we are doing. Rather, you are in a better position, and our worthy DG Saab is in a good position to know what we are doing with legal English. ठीक है जी. तो अब जो है ये लीगल इंग्लिश का वो है, ये मैं सिर्फ रोड में आपके साथ डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ. कल जो भी आप कहेंगे कि जी इस एरिया में हमें आगे ले जाना है, तो कल इंशाल्लाह उसी एरिया पे हम आगे जाएंगे. Now we move ahead to another topic. This is also covered. That is effective communication. Communication and then effective communication. Communication means sharing meaning, sharing messages, sharing opinions, sharing feelings, emotions as well. So if there is no sharing, it means there is no communication. If meanings are not shared, for example, I am saying something and you do not understand, what is the objective of communication? So it communicates nothing. So there must be the element of sharing. That is communication. Now, what is effective communication? That is, if we understand what we are saying, what the speaker says, what the listener understands. If this understanding occurs, it means this is effective. If we fail to understand, it means it is not effective. So effective communication means communication that brings forth outcomes. Productive. If there is no productivity, communication goes to the wind. Now, cycle of communication. Cycle. This is called cycle of communication. The first is who, yani who communicates, the speaker or writer, or you can say producer. And then whom, your listener, your audience. Your reader, that is whom. Then comes what? What means your message? Then comes when and where. When and where make your context. And then comes objective. Why? Why are you communicating? So you have to keep this cycle before communicating something. Then there are flows of communication. Yani you are sending down a message vertically, or you are sending a message laterally, horizontal. So different messages have different contents and different levels of vocabulary, structures, and other elements. Yani communication may flow from top to bottom, or from bottom to top, or from one end to another end, or diagonally, cross. Now, features of effective communication. And they usually use 7 C's. I call this only the C's, not 7. The C's. C, comma, S, the C's. Because here every word has begins with C. And if a message has these features, we call this effective, because it is easily understood. Number 1, C. Conciseness. Conciseness, short and simple. Number 2, correctness. Correctness. Correct means in terms of mechanics, both grammar and punctuation. Correctness means correct in terms of grammar, correct in terms of punctuation, if written. That is correct. 3, clarity. Now, a law people say if you are in a legal profession, you can sacrifice the other C's for the sake of clarity. You can sacrifice other C's for the sake of clarity, because clarity is the most important element in legal communication. Now, what is clarity? Clarity means the message is understood without any making any effort, easily understood. That is clear. If your message gives double meanings, then it is not clear. Therefore, the problem of interpretation comes in here, because it creates different meanings. Different levels of clarity. Mental clarity, number 1. You have to be clear in your mind. Your mind has to be very clear what you are going to say. So that is called mental clarity. And you are making a judgment. First you have to be clear in your mind. That is called mental clarity. Then comes verbal clarity. Verbal clarity, yani how to put it in language. Then it has again two levels: semantic clarity and pragmatic clarity. Semantic means your meaning should be clear, and pragmatic means your context should be clear, situation should be clear. Pragmatic clarity means situational clarity. And then syntactical clarity, the order of words. So if you follow these levels of clarity, then your message will be understood clearly. Otherwise, your message will cause confusion in the mind of your reader or listener. Then conciseness, correctness, clarity. Then comes what? Completeness. Completeness. Complete means what, when, where, how, and why. जब भी आप SOPs इशू करेंगे, SOPs, Standard Operating Procedures, you know that, I hope. SOPs को समझते हैं? हाँ, तो SOPs को ये फॉलो करना है, तो वो कंप्लीट होगा फिर. यानी what, when, where, how, why should not be told or may not be told, but the other elements must be there. So this is your message should be complete. If it is incomplete, it means it is not effective, or it will be ineffective. Next is concreteness. Avoid generalizations as far as possible. Avoid generalizations. Be specific. So if you are specific, then it will be concrete. Then coherence. C-O-H-E-R-E-N-C-E, coherence. This means logical connections between ideas, meaningful transitions from sentence to sentence, from paragraph to paragraph. Yani your argument should be logical, it should follow a logic. That is called coherence. And then cohesion. Cohesion means verbal connections. You have to use proper discourse markers for cohesion. And then today we will hear another word that is called political correctness. Political correctness. And political correctness means here we should not hurt people in terms of race, in terms of gender, in terms of ethnicity, in terms of all this. So this is called political correctness. So if you are not politically correct, your message will not be put across effectively. Then comes considerateness. Considerateness. You have to be considerate. For example, inshallah I will show you a judgment written by a judge. The judge says, I am writing it for children, so I am trying my best so that children may know it, what I am saying. So that is called considerateness. And then is courtesy, that you know. You have to be courteous. So how many C's? Review it please. So we have to follow these C's to create effective messages for effective communication. This is called effective communication. Now the last item regarding this is barriers to communication. So in communication there may be natural barriers, any distance, for example, or natural disasters. Because of that we cannot communicate. These are called natural barriers. There are distances, spatial and temporal barriers. Then there may be cultural barriers, cultural, because there are cultural differences. Because of these cultural differences we commit or we create barriers, and then these barriers affect our communication. Even here in Pakistan, if a person is from the Punjab and the other is from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, two different cultures, so barriers occur. So one comes from Urdu background, the other from Pashto background again. So we have to encounter problems here. And then language barriers. And then their language, under language, ये अभी जो सवाल कर रहे थे, now there are different varieties of the same language. For example, English is its formal variety. Formal variety is for academic or for official purposes. Then colloquial or informal English, that is for informal things. Then there is slang, that is for groups use it, that is slang. So here we are focusing on formal use of language, official language. And official means standard language. And today what is the definition? First they used to say the English used by the royalty is standard. First the standard was this. यानी बादशाह लोग या क्वीन जो अंग्रेजी इस्तेमाल करती है, this is standard, was supposed to be standard. फिर उन्होंने कहा नहीं, ये गलत है. The English used by BBC is the standard. Now it has again changed. Now they say the English used by the educated people is standard. So this is called educated English, or English used by the educated people of the world. This is called standard. So we have to use the standard English for formal communication. हो गया? This is enough, I think, sir. 10 minutes. If you have questions. G, review it and you can ask questions.
Actually, you have pointed out all these say systems, but we need to do practice on it. So if you have some practice session,
he says they need practice. And I bother you for.
We were talking this evening about the practice. Take it as level 1 for your training, right? And as I yesterday told you, and even this evening we were discussing, I told to some of your colleagues and friends, you give us an assessment of this, this course which you are going through or which you will be completing tomorrow, this language area. And then suggest what more you need, right? We will request the Professor Saab that he will give us again a small module, and
for practice.
I hope you can come here again.
ठीक है सर.
तो इनको हम दोबारा बुला लेंगे और यही हो सकता है. लेकिन I will request that give me a level कि what else you need regarding the English language.
अब ये है ना, कल जो चीज़ें मैं आपके साथ शेयर करूंगा, एक चीज़ क्लियर हो जाएगी कि which area are we going to focus on. क्योंकि हमने बहुत सी चीज़ें की ना, हमने तो समंदर को एक कूजे में बंद किया हुआ है. अब उनमें कल देखेंगे कि जी नेक्स्ट लेवल पे जब हम जाएंगे, इनमें से which area we will be focusing on. तो उसमें फिर then I will make my input.
Any recommended books or material?
So the books are there. The problem is my USB is not functioning. So I will download it because I have sent it to my email address. I can send it to you. So there are so many books. One, and I will show you this plain legal English by an expert lawyer, American lawyer, on the YouTube. There are 3 or 4 videos on it. Watch it, and then you will get. Because I am a language person, and you will not trust me what I am saying. If you listen to people who are in law, they know what law is, or what judicial or legal profession is. When they say something, then you believe, oh, this is okay. I am a language person, not a law person. तो वो जो वकील बोलता है वो वकील है, और ये मेलिंकोफ जो है ये वकील है. ठीक है, तो ये फिर भी जजों के दरमियान हम वो नहीं पैदा होता ना, वो प्रोफेशनल डिस्टेंस रहता है. वो कहता है कि जी हम जजेस हैं, ये तो एक टीचर है, हमें क्या पढ़ाएगा. जी जी
हमारे सिविल जजेस का कोर्स था जजमेंट राइटिंग पे. तो पहले दिन जब इन्होंने वो किया और अपना मेरा ख्याल है 90 मिनट्स के 4 सेशन ने किए और वापस जब आए तो मैंने कहा सर, इनको मैंने कहा कि हाउ डू यू फील, हमारा लेवल क्या है ना. तो इन्होंने बड़े मुअद्दबाना अंदाज में कहा कि जी योर ऑनर्स को योर ऑनर्स ही रहने दें. तो फिर मैंने शागिर्दों से पूछा कि जी आप बताएं, जो जजेस थे, कि आपकी क्या रीडिंग है, आपका व्हाट डिड यू लर्न. आप तो नहीं थी साइमा उस कोर्स में, नहीं आप तो नहीं थी उसमें, नहीं यू वर नॉट देयर. तो फिर मैंने उनसे पूछा कि आपको क्या समझ आई. तो उन्होंने कहा सर हमें कुछ भी समझ नहीं आई कि प्रोफेसर साहब ने क्या कहा. पहले और ग्रेजुअली आहिस्ता आहिस्ता आगे बात चलती गई, हो गया.
At least we need one lecture on each topic. Actually there are lots of topics.
देखिए ये ग्रेजुअली आगे बढ़ेंगे ना, ये he will take you to the plain legal language. प्लेन लीगल लैंग्वेज पे ये आपको फोकस कर देंगे जाके, वहां फिर आप असेस करें कि आपको आगे क्या करना चाहिए, क्या जरूरत. यही है ना आपका होता है प्रोफेसर. ही विल टेक यू टू प्लेन लीगल लैंग्वेज, राइट. तो उसके बाद आप असेस करें, फिर देखेंगे कि हमें मजीद कितना हम आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं. हमें कोई इशू नहीं है इंशाल्लाह. बल्कि देखिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी ये कॉन्सेप्ट है और हाई कोर्ट में भी ये डिमांड है कि हमारा सबसे बड़ा इशू ही लैंग्वेज का है. क्योंकि जजमेंट्स आप अंग्रेजी में लिखते हैं, ना पढ़ने वाले को अंग्रेजी आती है, ना लिखने वाले को आती है, ना बोलने वाले को आती है. एक अजीब सा डायलेमा है हमारे साथ. तो इंग्लिश तो हमने समझानी है और समझनी है, दैट इज वो हमारी मजबूरी है. तो हमारी तो कोशिश थी कि हर कोर्स में हम एक आध लेक्चर लैंग्वेज का डालें. हमने यहाँ इस्लामाबाद में आके 3-4 लोगों को ट्राई किया, अटेम्प्ट किया, मुख्तलिफ प्रोफेसर को लाए, कोई लेडी प्रोफेसर आई, लेकिन उनका फीडबैक हमें अच्छा नहीं मिला अभी तक। तो प्रोफेसर साहब का चूंकि एक्सपीरियंस हो गया है जजेस के साथ इंटरेक्ट करते करते, और पर्टिकुलरली ये लेक्चर डेवलप करने में इन्होंने बहुत बड़ा काम किया है। मुझे पता है कि बड़ी रिसर्च और बड़ा, ये आपको आहिस्ता आहिस्ता आपको अंदाजा होता जाएगा कि इन्होंने कितना, शाम तक या कल दोपहर तक आप लोग क्लियर हो जाएंगे कि आपको मजीद किस एरिया में क्या चाहिए। ठीक है ना सर, आप कुछ कह रहे थे
सर? Lecture is okay if this lecture series is supplemented with some web-based e-learning, something practice exercises, self-assessment exercises. We could take it at home or somewhere at academy, because his main concern was also that we should have self-assessment or to recheck ourselves, reassess ourselves whether we have made some improvement or not.
Whether he has got in his pocket, प्रोफेसर भी बता, इन्होंने एक करना होता है आपसे लिखवा के फिर पीयर रिव्यू कराना था। आर यू डूइंग इट टुमारो? और ये जो आपने कहा ई लर्निंग वाली बात ना, तो हम कोशिश करेंगे, हमारा तो ई चैनल आज फॉर्मली मेरा ख्याल लॉन्च हो गया, आज यूट्यूब का चैनल हमारा फॉर्मली लॉन्च हो गया, तो हम प्रोफेसर साहब को इंगेज करेंगे, इंशाल्लाह कोशिश करेंगे। और ये आपका मुझे बहुत पसंद आई है ये बात कि ये कुछ चीजें हम उस पे डालेंगे, और वो आप लोग, बल्कि हम कोशिश करेंगे कि वो जो दूसरा सिस्टम होता है उसको क्या कहते हैं यार, वो जो मोबाइल से पढ़ के हम वो उसको देखते हैं और वो आपके पास आ जाता है। नहीं 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 नहीं, ये एक मिनट में मुझे नाम भूल जाते हैं, ये इसको क्या कहते, सेल्फ, और खुद ही आप उसको वो करें। तो वो मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा प्रोफेसर साहब से कि हमारी अगर थोड़ी सी मदद।
ठीक है सर, ठीक करें, जो भी हुक्म हो हम करेंगे, हम इसके लिए तो हैं। ठीक है, आई होप यू हैव एंजॉयड इट। Thank you very much. Thank you.